From Hollywood, time once again for Money TV. I'm Don Baillargeon. Thanks for joining us. Money TV is the program all about money and what makes it happen. Well, we certainly have seen rampant volatility in the stock market over the last week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average experienced more ups and downs than Bill Clinton's zipper in the Oval Office. Tuesday was wildly entertaining to a casual observer as the Dow could change by 200 points up or down in the time it took to refill your coffee cup or maybe grab some Alka-Seltzer. But it's hard to ignore the substantial gains the markets have experienced over the last 90 days, the past 6 months, or over the past year, despite the events of the last week. So what was the root of all the panic? Well, frankly, the media didn't help, crowing about a 1,000-point Dow drop as if that number had the same effect on a 26,000 Dow as it might have had on a 10,000 Dow. But as we've come to experience during the last 15 months, the media is quick to jump on any story that could be spun negative towards Trump and blow it out of proportion. But the underlying reason is actually quite simple. They have concerns over inflation. Stocks have been rising steadily since the 2016 election. The economy is booming. People are buying things. Unemployment is historically low across the board, and there are more jobs available than there are people to fill them. Everywhere you go, you see help wanted signs and now hiring signs. If you don't have a job in 2018, it's because you don't want one. Companies are having to pay their workers more to keep them and to attract new ones. When labor costs go up, companies will eventually have to raise prices on the products and services they sell to afford their growing payrolls. Wall Street's also concerned over the Federal Reserve attempting to quell inflation by raising interest rates. By making the cost of borrowing money more expensive, the result would be lower corporate profits. Wall Street hates that. But the Fed kind of has its hands tied somewhat to the biggest borrower of money, the USA itself, which is now $20 trillion in debt. Any significant rise in interest rates would send that number to the moon. The national debt is not going to be paid off in our lifetimes, nor our children's, nor their children's lifetimes. Forget it. If we started paying off $20 trillion at the rate of $1 million per hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year, it would take 2,300 years to just pay off the principal. Ponder that for a moment. Now here's something you don't have to ponder whatsoever. It's our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program, 888-259-4449. That's to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. It is also free, as is the call from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Be sure and visit us at MoneyTV.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Well, our first guest this week is joining us in studio, Mr. Matt Chipman. He's a spokesman for EPAZ Incorporated. EPAZ is their stock symbol. Matt, always great to see you.
Glad to be here again.
Now, you were on a program about 2 or 3 weeks ago. For those who might have missed that interview, why don't you tell us again what the company does?
Well, the company is involved in ways that people can pay for, if you go into a store and you want to use it similar to Apple Pay, if you want to pay via cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrencies, there's a lot of new ones available. They basically allow you to, on an app, to pay for an item at a point-of-sale transaction at a store. So what they're wanting to do is to take the credit cards basically out of your wallet, create an iWallet application so that you have, instead of having all your credit cards, you can just pay for the item. And it's, what it is, it's cheaper for the merchant and the consumer.
It's amazing how this whole blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin thing is just revolutionizing the way people pay for things. Now, this app from EPAZ is called ZennaPay, I believe, right?
Yeah, and ZennaPay has now been downloaded over 20,000 times. I think just a few weeks ago when I was on the show, it had surpassed 10,000 downloads on the Android Play Store. Now it's over 20,000 times. So the company just announced that this week. The app is very popular. Obviously, blockchain and being able to pay for items via different cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are extremely gaining popularity for point-of-sale transactions.
You're absolutely right. Now, I noticed the company put out some pretty big press release this week. What's going on?
Well, the company has a number of things. One is they increased, of course, the downloads, but there are several future press releases the company is talking about. There's going to be a significant release this weekend about ZennaPay adding additional cryptocurrencies. The cryptocurrency, Euphorium is going to be made available. There will be ways that you can differentiate which kind of cryptocurrency you want to use. So that it'll make it obviously faster, easier to pay. And they're also announcing that they're going to bring on a couple new cryptocurrencies into development. those being Litecoin and SegWit. Litecoin is gaining huge in popularity. In fact, it may even surpass soon the popularity with Bitcoin.
That's incredible. Well, we've seen a lot of volatility in the cryptocurrency space here in the last few weeks, but this is a way to get involved in the cryptocurrency space with much less risk, I would imagine.
Yeah, and you know, they're not making cryptocurrency. I don't want to differentiate that.
Right.
They have an app to allow you to utilize cryptocurrencies, and you know, they certainly don't want to be associated with the volatility of that market. It really has to do with the apps and the blockchain technology to ensure payment.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, you know, Dallas Mavericks basketball team now accepts cryptocurrency to buy basketball tickets. And you're seeing more and more acceptance across the board. Even private sales of like classic automobiles, you'll see Bitcoin accepted to pay for a classic car. So it's gaining acceptance as we go along. Well,
it certainly is. And what is coming in the future and what's being worked on is a proprietary way to do payroll. You know, imagine payroll. You know, being able to do that seamlessly, quickly, and manage it, you know, and make it very, very simple and easy to use, but also cut down on payroll costs, you know.
So what do you see in store for the company as we go forward in 2018?
The company it's very exciting. I mean, right now, just forecasted in the next week, you're looking at 2 press releases, one this weekend and another one on the 15th that's going to talk a lot more about developments, upgrades, and then there are some other developments that have also been talked about as future press releases that are coming on down the line very, very soon. So they're staying very current. You can expect a lot of action on the PR front, and it's exciting.
Once again, EPAS Incorporated, EPAZ is their stock symbol. Matt, very exciting. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And joining us now on the phone is Greg Lambrecht. Greg is the CEO of Single Point Incorporated. Their stock symbol's SING. Greg, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back, Don.
Well, Greg, I saw some big news this week. Sing has been uplisted to the OTCQB. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you. We've been working at this for a long time, and you know, finally got our 2016 financials audited, and we're working on 17, but huge accomplishment for the company, and just really welcome to be in a position now to attract institutional investors, not only to buy our stock on the open market, but also to invest directly into Single Point.
Now, this development really does open a lot of doors for the company, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you know, as you know, and a lot of people in this industry know, it's a very tough place to be on the pinks, and it's almost imperative that you move up to the OTCQB for credibility and you know, for just about every different aspect. So this is a big accomplishment for the company, and you know, as you can see, it's really reflecting in the stock price and value already.
Any new updates on the acquisition or joint venture front?
Well, just that we've got you know, a lot of acquisitions and joint ventures that we've been working on, that we kind of have in the pipeline, that we'll be announcing over the next 4 to 5 weeks. So our investors will be seeing a lot of positive news come out of Single Point.
Well, I guess that means we'll be expecting you in California again pretty soon.
I hope so.
Once again, Single Point Incorporated, SING. Greg, terrific update. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and go Sing.
And I'm joined in studio now by Dave Savarese. He's the president of Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation. SIRC is their stock symbol. Dave, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Don.
Well, we spoke with Dave Massey last week, and he was just glowing about the results that you've achieved since joining the company. Yeah. He says, I give David all the credit for the swagger that's running around the building.
Yeah, I know. He put me kind of up on a pedestal, but it's certainly been a group effort, and it's been super exciting this last 2 months. Last month had our biggest month in company history. Wow. So really
So
cool.
In January was your biggest month in company history?
January is our biggest month in company history, especially in January, February, March is typically the slow season for our industry. We are poised to have a huge month in February. Tons of new marketing efforts coming through in literally the next week. We've got a brand new website that just is about to come on board.
Nice.
And hired a really excellent SEO opportunity for us as well, which is search engine optimization.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to January, because you said it was a record month for the company. I was thinking it was just a record January,
Yeah.
but it was a record overall.
Well, it was a record month for actually just January.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was a record month for just January. Typically, it's a seasonal business,
Sure it
the
is.
solar industry, but we do have roofing to complement it as well.
Right.
So as the seasons change, the numbers change a bit, but biggest month in company history for January.
Well, you know, it's kind of unique how your company is, because you're involved in both roofing and solar. Solar panels go on the roof, and if you see that the roof is probably, the life of the roof that you're looking at is not going to survive that of the solar panels, it gives you an opportunity to create more revenue.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the package that we've put together, is a really unique offering when it comes to installing a new roof and a solar system for less than what you're currently paying your electricity for.
Well, that's the amazing thing, because let's face it, if you're paying, say, especially in Southern California, you can easily get to $300 or $400 or more.
Oh, easily.
For electrical costs.
Yep.
And you can put together a package for a roof and a solar panel system for right around that same money or less?
No, it's actually probably about $100 less.
Really?
Yeah, I worked with a gentleman 2 days ago. He was paying $380 a month in electricity. We're putting a brand new roof and a solar system that's wiping out his bill for $261.
So he's already cash flow positive, and he's got solar on his roof, and he's got a new roof as well.
That's it. That's it.
Now, you mentioned briefly, I think I interrupted you because I was so excited about your record months, but you said February is looking pretty hot too.
February's looking very solid. I've got a couple more guys coming on the sales side, really just ramping up in the marketing. Got a bunch of mailers and SEO stuff happening this month, so super exciting. We're really poised for another great month.
And of course, your fiscal year ends at the end of February, so you're looking for a pretty good, solid fiscal year overall, and then you start all over again March 1.
Absolutely. I'd like to finish out with a strong year.
So let's talk about March going forward. I mean, you start to get into the busier season, because people start getting these big electric bills when they start turning on their AC in Southern California. Your phone, I would imagine, starts to ring.
Absolutely, and that's one of the biggest things, is when it starts heating up. Unfortunately for most folks, they wait until it's a little bit too late, like everybody. But as it starts heating up, we start seeing a lot more traction, a lot more phone calls. People want to save money. They want to save money, and no one actually wants to buy a new roof.
Right.
So if we can incorporate it into the solar piece of it as well, it really is a big benefit.
Well, when you get that bill from San Diego Gas and Electric, and it's $559, and sometimes even more than that for electric power during the summer months, hopefully your mailer for solar comes in the same day.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, we've timed it so that it does land on the billing cycle for SDG&E. SDG&E just raised their rates over 20% in January again.
Wow.
So,
and what people don't realize is they're charging you more at different times of the day.
They are going to be charging you more, and that's really going to come into place for time of use in 2019. Right. But it is mandated to go to a time of use billing structure in 2018 after March 31st.
So the time to go solar is right now.
Time is now. There's no better time than the moment.
Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation, SIRC is their stock symbol. David, congratulations on all the numbers you've helped achieve. Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me again, Don.
I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed
a good investment forum.
And I kept searching.
and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
If you were looking for one as well,
look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
thank you.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat-fee news distribution network on the market. It's called Access Wire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the Access Wire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. Access Wire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
We're back. Thanks for staying with us, and joined in studio now by Mr. Birthday Boy, Riggs Eckelberry. He's the CEO of Origin Clear Incorporated, OCLN. Happy birthday, Riggs.
Thank you, Don. It's a wonderful day to have a birthday.
Well, it's always a pleasure having you on the program because you always bring to us such innovative things that, with your companies over the years. But this thing we talked about the last time you were on, the whole blockchain thing, the water chain deal, true innovation. I understand it was a big development just today. Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, as I told you last week, we retained a very innovative, experienced, coin blockchain developer called the Coin Lab in London, and they got to work. And in fact, this morning, they reported on the first morning of basically at that point it was more brainstorming. And I think we have a clip of Tim Marchant's report. Maybe you can run it.
Let's take a look at that right now.
Yeah, we had a good morning session. Basically, this morning session we're really looking at see how you can use blockchain technology to remove some of the trust element which is lacking and efficiency which is seriously lacking in the whole water chain at the moment. So we're really looking at putting in new technology we're looking at seeing how you can use new technology to automatically monitor filtration of water and get that information into some sort of blockchain scenario where you can motivate all of the actors in this to make it more efficient. I think basically we had a very good session doing that.
Well, that is exciting. So what's the next step now? What has to happen now for this to jump into the stratosphere, as I know you always do?
Okay, so what's happening now is this is a very important step, which is working with the Coin Lab on gelling the vision in a way that really works for the blockchain, because we know what the water industry needs. Right. We need to know what the blockchain world needs, and really getting that down. So we're going to come out of this. They're just completing today, and we'll have a very good, strong way to go forward. The next step, of course, is we'll be getting into funding rounds, and that will be separately discussed. We know there's going to be an open solicitation, but strictly for accredited investors, and that will follow in good time. At this time, I'm not soliciting anything.
Okay, I understand.
I want to make that clear. But obviously, things get funded, and there will be a way for people to participate. And finally, we're going to be showing up at a lot of blockchain conferences. Basically is getting the buy-in of the real opinion leaders in the industry, because it's all about hot or not. Are you hot or are you not? Well, they know by now what's hot.
Right.
They go, okay, that's good, instantly. And we know the integrities there of this concept. Now we've got to communicate it.
Well, they must be intrigued when they look at your company, because you're dealing with one technology or one business model that's been around forever, water, and doesn't change much, versus another one that has been around just a very short time and changes like every 5 minutes. I mean, that's got to be intriguing to them and to you as CEO of a company.
Yes, and what's developing out of I can tell you right now, coming out of this brainstorming of this architecture, is we're not going to try and convince the water industry to change. We're going to make a fresh play that is unique and transcendent, really, next generation in every way, that will be funded by blockchain economics. And that's going to be the transforming event.
Well, that's really important, because I think when you first came back on the program a few weeks ago, you mentioned that it can take 10 or 12 years for the water industry to react to change. Well, you don't have that time with blockchain, because what can happen in 12 minutes versus 12 years?
Yes, we have the opportunity to really do things instantaneously in relative terms by simply saying, you know what, this can happen, and we can put it together. It's going to be, distributed. It's going to be modular. It's going to be, water recycling. All these are very important things. Day one.
It was really interesting, and to go back to the core business model of water recycling. But you had mentioned there are certain countries that recycle far more water than we do here in the United States.
Yes, and Israel, for example, does 80%.
80%.
80%, whereas the U.S. does 1%. The second country in the world, Spain, does 20%. So now, you're not going to change a culture in less than decades unless you start with something that is itself a working thing that you can control, and you just roll it out.
Well, I know that you're very communicative with your shareholders. I'm just kind of curious, since we made this announcement on the program last week, what has been the general consensus of shareholders you've spoken to?
People are very excited, and people should, of course, subscribe on waterchain.io. Very important to get those updates. And also, I would suggest subscribing on my CEO updates, which is the on originclear.com, because I make updates there as well. And people are just loving it. They're saying, "Oh my God, this is the most wonderful thing," and I think it's it's only going to increase the number of people who are really interested in what we're doing.
So what has to happen next? I know I kind of asked that a moment ago, but I just really want to clue in on that. After this session you had this morning, what's the next step?
Well, really, it's going to start reflecting in the website, waterchain.io. Okay. That's where you're going to start seeing things fleshed out, because so far it's been just a banner page.
Right.
But there's a lot behind the scenes that's being built, and this is going to start rolling out. So it's very important that people be on that list. Origin
Clear, OCLN is their stock symbol. Exciting to watch what these guys are doing. Riggs, thanks so much, and again, happy birthday.
Thank you, Don.
And joining us now on the phone is Don Smith. He's Executive Vice President with Smart Cannabis Corporation. SCNA is their stock symbol. Don, always a pleasure.
Yeah, Don, hi. How are you today?
Doing terrific. Now, one of the things that we've been talking about with respect to your company is your smart app for greenhouse management. Why don't you tell us about that? And I guess we have a little bit of footage to look at as well.
Yeah, we sent you a little 30-second, live demo of that. Of our smart app, which is available, of course, in the Apple App Store, and that app was completely written by the folks at Smart Cannabis and Next Generation Farming for mainly our own criteria standards of operating an automated greenhouse system, but we are in fact talking to third-party vendors and generic companies out there who might actually white label this, and you see this in your favorite hydroponics store sometime in the next 6 months.
Well, what's really interesting is you mentioned to me before we went on the air that cannabis cultivation people are making a mad dash for their facilities, and that just plays right into what you folks are doing.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, if you got your cultivation license and your legal licenses are in fact in place, then right now is when you want to be starting off 2018 to maximize your investment that you've put out in the hard work to get those licenses. So, yeah, we have a tremendous full deal flow right now of just outgoing quotations. And to give you an idea, I mean, we have one large cultivator up here that is a repeat client of ours who filled their greenhouses this week with their very first crops of the year. That will come in sometime in May. So it's very timely that the Smart app is up and online, and I believe our crews are actually dialing that into a total of 16 greenhouses here in the next 10 days.
Once again, Smart Cannabis Corporation, SCNA is their stock symbol. Exciting, Don. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Don. Look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
And joining us now direct from Las Vegas is Mark Bradley. Mark is the CEO of Players Network. Their stock symbol's PNTV. Mark, welcome back to the program.
I appreciate you having me again, like always, Don.
Well, I see you announced the hiring of a new public relations firm. Tell us about that.
So look at 1-800-PR, Matt Bird's firm. Matt is an amazing visionary in the area of PR. He's from New York. He also has an office in Los Angeles. They got some great clients. I mean, like the United Nations and Microsoft and Qualcomm, and we're privileged to be a part of that group. And we're ready for big time now. We're ready for a lot of mainstream media and, positioning our company as a leader, and we just felt it was a time to get an amazing PR firm behind us. So we're excited, and we welcome 1-800-PR.
Well, speaking of big time, big news this week, you're entering the California cannabis market. Can you give us some details?
Yeah, we kind of surprised everybody. Everybody's focusing on, when are we fully opening in Nevada? And the answer is extremely close. It's just when you deal with the political hurdles and the politics and bureaucracy and stuff that's needed on a local level. It's very difficult. So, we've been planning on what's our next market, and California is right next to Nevada. It made sense. Nevada is going to be the largest recreational market in the world. California is the largest market. California is going to have to go through a reform. So even though California has been in the marijuana industry medically for like 25 years, the recreational is a whole new challenge, and we're going to bring the experience we have from Nevada to California. So we're really excited. We got an amazing project in Palm Desert that'll be the largest marijuana cultivation and production facility in the world. 14 buildings, each 200,000 square feet, roughly 2,720,000 square feet, which we're going to take 400,000 square feet of it for Greenleaf Farms. So we're ecstatic. It's a great opportunity.
So this 400,000 square foot growing facility is already pre-approved for marijuana cultivation?
Absolutely. Look at the city of Desert Springs really wants to go through a lot of growth. So the political environment there is very friendly, very welcoming. We've already have the land use for light industrial agriculture. Everything around it is becoming marijuana. They are kind of coining this as the diamond district of the marijuana industry in California because so much is popping up, and we're blessed to be there in the early stages.
Well, you're also planning on a TV production studio on site for WeTV. That's an exciting project.
Well, there's a lot of opportunities in Desert Springs. I'll kid you not. But what made this one so unique is the property will have approximately 8 or 9 acres of non-cannabis that'll have a hotel on the site, so the people doing business within our cannabis park have a place to stay or a place to live. There'll be some condos there. There'll be convention space, and what we talked about is really, supporting the entire park with media and putting a WeTV studio up in there to always be interviewing people and bring in different companies to profile their products they're creating. So, it's a long-term vision. The studio's probably 3 years away, but we're letting you know we're planning it now.
Players Network, PNTV, Mark, a tremendous update. Congratulations on that development. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about lottery winners' new fears on this week's Money Wrap radio program. Go to moneywrap.com for more information. Call us right now, toll free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449 for free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our MoneyTV newsletter. Again, 888-259-4449. Visit us at moneytv.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's our show this week. As always, we'll be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us.